Will Richard Sherman shadow DeAndre Hopkins? I ask this because Richard Sherman historically doesn't do that. He usually plays on the left side of a defense and plays zone, but DeAndre Hopkins is an all-pro receiver, and the Niners can't let the Cardinals really dictate that matchup, or can they? How do they handle this? Real quick, Jose, you're going to start just now. Robert Saleh was asked flat out, are you going to have Richard Sherman move side to side? And he said, we'll see. So what do you think they're going to do with him and Hopkins?
I don't think they're going to shadow him. I do think they should, but I don't think that's what they're going to do, or at least not exclusively. Maybe they'll throw a mix and match because they're not all one side or the other. They're more of an in-betweener. Let's just mix it up and play baseball, and I'm going to show you all my pitches. So I think it's going to be a mix. I don't think it's going to be one or the other, though. But I do advocate he should for at least the vast majority because he's the best fit right now to guard Hopkins for sure.
I agree, but I think I agree with Jose. I think regardless of where Hopkins lines up, they're just going to be comfortable with whatever matchup it is because they're going to believe in the safety help over the top with Jimmy Ward. Underneath, they got the coverage linebackers to help support. So I don't think Sherman's going to go around and shadow. I think whatever side of the field that Hopkins lines up on, that's who's going to guard him.
Yeah, I think it would favor the Niners if Sherman was on Hopkins just because I think having Christian Kirk and Richard Sherman together, Kirk is a speed guy, and we saw in the Super Bowl last year that wasn't always the best matchup for Sherman, but I think the Cardinals are going to purposefully put Hopkins on the other side as much as possible to test Sherman, and so I think it's going to be a Emmanuel Mosley / Ahkello Witherspoon, whatever they feel like at the time on Hopkins.
I sure hope that they don't. That's going to be a tough matchup for Sherman. Look at what Devontae Adams and Sam Watkins did to him in the last 2 games of the season, beating him deep both times. You throw that in there. You throw in the fact that the last time that Hopkins went against Sherman, he put up over 200 and something yards up in Seattle in 2017 with 8 catches. So I wouldn't do that.
I think they will, because not exclusively like Jose touched on, but I think they will just to mix it up on things. Kyler Murray's not going to want to test Sherman, while Deshaun Watson had no problem with that when they faced up in Seattle as the Houston Texans. But they kind of have to, because since Kyler Murray's not going to want to throw on Sherman, no quarterbacks really like to, and when they did last season, they weren't successful other than if we want to nitpick like 3 plays where they were. And so for the 49ers, that's going to help out their defense tremendously because he's going to take away their best player on offense outside of the quarterback. So I think they will, just not exclusively.
Well, they're going to play mostly zone because that's what they do. So he won't be shadowing when they play zone. But I do think they're going to play some man-to-man coverage. They did it a lot in training camp. I think when they play man-to-man coverage, it'll be 3rd down usually. They probably will stick with their zone-based defense on 1st and 2nd down. But on 3rd down, I think they're going to want to move. If Hopkins tries to line up in the slot on the left side and get away from Sherman, I think they're going to try to put Sherman on him and at least see how it goes. If it doesn't work out, they'll have a plan B. But they've been doing it too much in training camp, and I'm thinking they're doing it because DeAndre Hopkins in their division, and they have to have a plan for him twice a season. So I think they're going to try it out. Jack may be right that it could be a disaster, but I actually think, I don't know. I mean, I'm hard on Sherman, but I think he could do it. Hopkins is great, but he's not fast. So we'll see if he can't run, if Sherman can't run with DeAndre Hopkins, then I guess you put him on Larry Fitzgerald.
Huge issue right there.
Yep.
Was that Sherman's last year in Seattle?
Yes.
That matchup?
Yes.
So
I love Jack. Jack always has the homework and the research.
I remember before he actually ruptured his Achilles, he was saying how it was lingering him all season long, and it was just a matter of when it was in a pop, not if it was in a pop. So we got to take that into consideration. And lastly, I'll say is Sherman commented that he and the 49ers have had conversations about an extension with the team, which is now on pause. So if you're the 49ers and you're talking with Sherman on extensions, why not move him and travel with the best receiver to see where his true value is at as well?
Interesting point.